Sources of multicollinearity method of data collection collected over a subspace of the explanatory variables where explanatory variables are linearly dependent constraint on the model and in the population. There exists some constant of the model or in the population from where sample is drawn. Existence of identities or definitional relationships. There exist some relationships among the variables due to definition of variable identity relation among them. For example, model y equals to beta naught plus beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2 plus beta 3 x3 plus u, where x1 is income, x2 is savings, x3 is expenditure. Then x1 equals to income equals to x2 plus x3 savings plus expenditure. So model specification. Multicollinearity introduced by its choice of model. For example, quadratic terms or cross product terms may appear as explanatory variables. An overdefined model. More explanatory variables than the number of observation, that is k is greater than n. In such situation arise in the medical research when number of patients is small but information is collected on large number of variables. Consequences of multicollinearity. First, perfect correlation. When there exists perfect correlation between two explanatory variables, first, Euler's estimators and indeterminate. Consider the multiple regression model for three variable y equals to alpha plus beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2 plus u. In case of perfect multicollinearity, x1 equals to a plus b x2, where a, b are constant. x1 minus x1 bar equals to b x2 minus x2 bar. So small x1 equals to b small x2. Euler's estimators beta 1 cap equals to summation x1 y small x1 y into another bracket summation x2 square minus summation x2 y in another bracket summation x1 into x2 by summation x1 square summation x2 square minus summation x1 x2 का whole square. Beta 2 cap equals to summation x2 y summation x1 square minus summation x1 y into summation x1 x2 by summation x1 square into summation x2 square minus summation x1 x2 का whole square. Putting small x1 equals to b small x2, then beta 1 cap equals to 0 by 0, beta 2 cap equals to 0 by 0. Second, the variance and covariance of estimators become infinitely large. Hence, Euler's estimators are not blue in the presence of multicollinearity. So, variance of beta 1 cap equals to sigma square summation x2 square by summation x1 square into summation x2 square minus summation x1 x2 का whole square. So variance of beta 2 cap equals to sigma square summation x1 square by summation x1 square into summation x2 square minus summation x1 x2 का whole square. Covariance beta 1 comma beta 2 cap, which is minus sigma square by summation x1 square under root into summation x2 square under root in bracket 1 minus small r12 का whole square, where small r12 is correlation coefficient between x1 and x2. Putting small x1 equals to bx2, variance of beta 1 cap equals to infinite, variance of beta 2 cap equals to infinite, and putting r equals to plus minus 1, since x1 equals to bx2. So covariance beta 1 comma beta 2 cap equals to infinite. In case of imperfect multicollinearity, first, Euler's estimators obtained but their standard error are large. Second, because of large standard error, the type second error increases. Third, Euler's estimates and their standard error very sensitive to the slightest change in the sample data. Fourth, multicollinearity is high. We may obtain a high R square, but none of or very few estimated regression coefficient. Alpha cap, comma beta 1 cap, comma beta 2 cap. Statistically significant. Fifth, get wrong signs of regression coefficients. Detection of multicollinearity. First, determinant of x dash x, that is mod x dash x, which is determinant of x dash x. X dash x, determinant of x dash x decreases as degree of multicollinearity increases. If determinant equals to 0, then perfect multicollinearity exists. Second, high R square and few significant T ratios. Regression model is good if R square is high. Useful tool, detection of multicollinearity. If R square is high, the null hypothesis that regression coefficient are jointly equal to 0, that is H naught, such that beta 1 equals to beta 2 and so on equals to beta n equals to 0, beta k equals to 0, is rejected in most cases on the basis of F test. Individual regression coefficient are equal to 0, that is H naught, such that beta 1 equals to beta I equals to 0, is accepted in very few cases on the basis of t-test. If significant regression coefficient value of R square is high, few regression coefficient comes out to be significant. Then is said to be multicollinearity is present. High pairwise correlation among regressors. Karl Pearson's product moment correlation coefficient among each pair of independent variables xi. Pairwise correlation coefficient exceeds the value 0.8, then there is presence of multicollinearity, and this is not necessarily true for low correlation coefficient among the independent variables, can lead to the problem of multicollinearity. Can also be lead to the problem of multicollinearity. Measure based on partial regression. Let capital R square is coefficient of determination in the full model, and Ri square is coefficient of determination when the ith explanatory variable is dropped. So RL square equals to maximum of R1 square comma R2 square and so on Rk square. R square minus RL square equals to measure of multicollinearity. The difference of R square minus R square RL square decreases. As the difference decreases, multicollinearity increases. Means R square minus RL square tends to approaches to 0, then high degree of multicollinearity exists. Variance inflation factor. Variance inflation factor measures the extent to which multicollinearity has increased. Extent to which an explanatory variable can be explained by all the other explanatory variables. Variance inflation factor defined as VIF equals to 1 by Rj square, where Rj square is coefficient of determination for auxiliary variable xj on the remaining variables. As Rj square increases, the variance inflation factor also increases. Rj square equals to 0, then variance inflation factor equals to 1. It means no multicollinearity. If Rj square equals to 1, then variance inflation factor equal to infinity. That is high multicollinearity. If Rj square is greater than 0.9, then variance inflation factor is greater than 10. Then it is said to be presence of multicollinearity. If Rg square between 0 to 1, hence variance inflation factor is between 1 to infinity, so VIF is unbounded. So use of tolerance is preferred. So in this case, we have to use tolerance. Tolerance equals to 1 by VIF. When VIF from 1 to infinity, then we use tolerance. Tolerance is inverse of VIF. So tolerance will be 0 to 1 for 1 to infinity VIF. If tall equals to 0, it is said to be present of multicollinearity. If tall equals to 1, no multicollinearity. Eigenvalue and condition index. Lambda 1, lambda 2 and so on lambda k. Eigenvalues of x dash x. Here VIF and tall, when both are 1, then no multicollinearity. And when both are 0, no, VIF is not 0 here. When tall is 0, then present, and when VIF infinity, then high multicollinearity. Eigenvalue and condition index. Lambda 1, lambda 2 and so on lambda k are the eigenvalues of x dash x. Condition number k equals to lambda maximum by lambda minimum. Condition index k, root k equals to root lambda maximum by lambda minimum. Here lambdas are eigenvalues of the matrix x dash x. When condition index is less than 10, then no multicollinearity is present, and when condition index is from 10 to 30, then moderate to strong multicollinearity is present, and when condition index greater than 30, then severe multicollinearity is present. 7. The Farrar-Glaber test is used to detect the multicollinearity. The Farrar-Glaber test is set of 3 tests: chi-square test, F-test and T-test. Test based on chi-square. First, consider the hypothesis to test the null hypothesis H0, no multicollinearity in the model, against the alternative hypothesis H1, presence of multicollinearity in the model. Second, formulate the regression model, multiple linear regression model y equals to beta naught plus beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2 plus and so on beta k xk plus u, where x1 x2 and so on xk are independent variable and y is dependent variable. U is disturbance term. Beta naught, beta 1, beta 2 and so on beta k are parameters. Third, compute the correlation matrix R for the independent variable. Compute the correlation matrix R for the independent variable contains pairwise correlation coefficient between independent variables, that is R variance covariance matrix equals to small r11, small r12 and so on small r1k. Second row small r21, small r22 and so on small r2k. Kth row small rk1, small rk2 and so on small rkn kk, which is equals to 1 r12 and so on r1k by second row r21 1 and so on r2k. Kth row rk1 rk2 and so on 1. Rij equals to correlation coefficient between xi and xj. Fourth, calculate determinant of correlation matrix, that is mod R. Determinant, it measures the degree of multicollinearity. Determinant measures the degree of multicollinearity. If determinant 1, then no multicollinearity exists. If determinant 0, then high multicollinearity exists. Fifth, Compute chi-square statistic. Chi-square equals to minus in bracket n minus 1 minus 1 by 6 into in bracket 2k plus 5 bracket close and close log mod r, which is determinant r, follows chi-square k minus 1 by 2, where k number of independent variable and size of the sample determined r determinants of correlation matrix. 6. Compare with the tabulated value and interpret result. If calculated chi-square is greater than tabulated chi-square alpha comma k minus 1 by 2, then H naught is rejected. Multicollinearity is present at alpha degree, alpha size. F test H naught. F test consider the hypothesis, same hypothesis r square xi dot x1 x2 and so on xk equals to 0. H1 r square xi dot x1 x2 and so on xk not equals to 0. F equals to r square xi dot x1 x2 and so on xk by k minus 1 1 minus r square xi dot x1 x2 and so on xk by n minus k, which follows f k minus 1 comma n minus k r square xi dot x1 x2 and so on xk is multiple correlation coefficient among the explanatory variable. Test based on t test h naught small r xi xj dot x1 x2 and so on xk equals to 0. H1 r xi xj dot x1 x2 and so on xk not equals to 0. Under H naught we use the test statistic t equals to r xi xj dot x1 x2 and so on xk by root 1 minus r xi xj dot x1 x2 and so on xk by n minus k, which follows t n minus k, where small r xi xj is partial correlation coefficient between xi and xj, n is size of the sample, k is number of independent variable. Limitations of Farrar-Glauber test. Assume that sample data follows multivariate normal distribution, because we have used here determinant. And second, may not be effective. This method may not be effective for very large sample data. Third, it may not be effective when k is greater than n, means number of variables is greater than number of observations. Remedies for multicollinearity. 1. Increase size of the sample. Multicollinearity avoided by, if we increase the size of the sample, is increased. Covariance is proportional to 1 by sample size, inversely proportional. Second, drop some variables that are collinear. Identify explanatory variables cause multicollinearity. These collinear explanatory variables may be dropped. Those can be dropped which have a smaller value of t ratio. Third, using prior information. Estimated values which are available used as prior information in the procedure, like restricted regression, used for this purpose. 4. Use generalized inverse. If rank of x dash x less than k, then x dash x inverse does not exist. Then x dash x inverse is replaced by g inverse x dash x minus in estimate of beta. So that is beta cap equals to x dash x minus x dash y underscore, where x dash x minus is g inverse. Since g inverse is not unique, therefore beta cap is not unique. Use more Penrose inverse x dash x plus. So use more inverse Penrose x dash x plus beta cap equals to x dash x plus x dash y underscore beta cap. Since Moore Penrose inverse is unique, therefore estimate of beta cap beta is unique. Fifth, method of pooling cross section and time series data. This method is a special case of restricted least square method. At first, one of the parameter is estimated. Use this parameter as a restriction on the function to estimate remaining parameters, and consider a demand function dt equals to alpha plus beta 1 pt plus beta 2 yt plus ut, where dt is demand of particular commodity, pt is price of for commodity, and yt is consumer's income, ut is disturbance term. In time series data, it is quite common for pt price of the commodity and consumer's income are correlated. These two variables lead to the problem of multicollinearity. If we have cross-sectional data, obtain an estimate of beta 2. Use this estimate to estimate the other parameters. Using this estimate to demand functions. So dt star equals to alpha plus beta 1 pt plus ut, where dt star equals to dt minus beta 2 cap yt, where which is value of dt after the removal of income effect. 6. Use of principal component regression analysis. It is based on the technique principal component analysis, where k explanatory variables are linear function of x1, x2 and so on xk. So z1 equals to summation ai xi, I takes value 1 to k. z2 equals to summation bi xi, I take value 1 to k. zk equals to summation ni xi, I take value 1 to k. We choose ai such that variance of z1 is maximum, subject to condition that summation ai square equals to 1. z1 is first principal component. The linear function of x is such that maximum variance. The linear z1 is a linear function of x such that it has the maximum variance. Similarly, we have to write of replacing ai's in the two vi's as above. Then variance of z2 is second maximum summation. The summation bi square equals to 1. z2 is second principal component. z1 and z2 are independent. We obtain z1, z2 and so on zk for them. The variance of z1 is greater than variance of z2 is greater than and so on is greater than variance of zk. The principal component have to property that variance I takes value from 1 to k, summation variance zi equals to summation I from 1 to k, variance xi. Variables x1, x2 and so on xk are correlated, but z1, z2 and so on zk are uncorrelated. Therefore, parallel be no multicollinearity among z1, z2 and zk. They are parallel be. So there will be no multicollinearity among z1, z2 and so on zk.